Well, good evening. Welcome along. A new era, a new competition, the AFC Champions League Two. And we kick off in Kolkata with last year's Indian Super League champions Mohun Bagan hosting Tajikistan's Ravshan Club. Well, welcome along. This competition takes over as the second tier competition from the AFC Cup. There are 32 teams in this group stage. The matches run from now through to early December. 2 teams will qualify from every group. And in the new year, we'll have the knockout phase, and that will lead us through to the final on May the 17th. This is a Group A game. The first, and then the other 2 teams in this group, Wakra and Tractor, kick off in a couple of hours from now. The history of the AFC Cup is carried into this new competition, so Central Coast Mariners are not in it. They've taken the AFC Champions League Elite ticket, and that is up for grabs for the ultimate winners of the competition. But most importantly, it's about the glory, about lifting the trophy come May, and about winning some matches and entertaining those supporters along the way. The competition has an Eastern and a Western division, the final, a showdown between the best of the 2. Well, these 2 clubs have never met each other in competition before. Mohun Bagan is one of the oldest Asian football clubs around, started back in 1889. They've had their ups and downs. It was their first Indian Super League title last year, but they're 6 times Indian champions in its previous iterations. And in recent seasons, they've had plenty of AFC Cup experience, reaching the knockout phases in 2016, 2021, 2022. So they have invested, and they've got some, as we'll get to when we get the team news, some foreign stars that have come in as well to play alongside some very good Indian internationals as well. They're a good team, Mohun Bagan, but they started disappointingly in the ISL. In their first game, they were 2-0 up and ended up being pegged back to a draw, to much of the frustration of their Spanish coach, Jose Molina, a former Spain international goalkeeper, a double winner in his Atletico Madrid days. He also won the cup for Deportivo. Most recently, he was the sporting director of the Spanish Federation as well. A lot of his coaching experience, though, has been in Asian competition. He was a treble winner in Hong Kong and won the Indian Super League with Atletico Kolkata. And they are the Mohun Bagan players in the maroon and green shirts. The authorities obviously hoping that this competition catches the eye. Showdown between teams from across the continent. The Ravshan players obviously there to the left in the white and red shirts. They were runners-up last season in Tajikistan. They've had their ups and downs as a club as well. Their downs relatively recent, actually. It's been a good recovery from this club in recent seasons. They were 2nd last year. They're 5th at the moment. Very different calendar for the Tajik League, and they are getting close to the end of the season. Still with a realistic chance of finishing 2nd. Would be asking, I think, too much for them to end up winning the league. And the match referee this evening is Ahmed Aisha Darvish from the United Arab Emirates. Assistant referees also are Emirati, the 4th official from Oman. Here is the anthem. We'll greet the players and the match officials out onto the pitch for the start of this new era, new competition. new challenge for the two sets of players, having faced each other before. Journey of discovery for everybody. This is the one where if it turns out that you struggle, you might find it feels like a long time. 6 group games to get you through to December. You want some good news at the moment. So the two players will line up, and we will just pause briefly once we are ready with the new anthem, the newly launched competition. The two sets of players showing their respect as they prepare to do battle in this first game of the AFC Champions League Two, second tier. India, Tajikistan, not the highest ranked of federations in the Asian game. Doesn't mean that these two teams are not strong, though. 7 Indian internationals in that Mohun Bagan Super Giant starting 11. Tom Aldred played in the championship with Blackpool. He's an Englishman. Dimitrios Petratos is an Australian international striker. Jason Cummings, an exciting signing as well, has played international football for both Scotland and Australia. Jamie McLaren is fit enough for the bench for Molina. See whether we see him or not. I guess will tell us whether he's really fit. The bad news, though, Alberto Rodriguez, excellent Spanish defender, is injured. He scored a goal in that draw against Mumbai City at the weekend. Subhasish Bosch is the captain for Mohun Bagan. Mohammadjon Rakhimov is the skipper of Ravshan. Skipper, and I think arguably star player as well. And a few words of explanation. Jose Molina does his business in English, whereas his opposite number, Mami Nazal Zeda, had to use a translator for his pre-match interviews. He's Iranian, and this is the side that he sends out there. 2 of the Ghanaians in their squad start the game. The goalkeeper Yevgen Rychenko and fullback Andrei Markovic are both Ukrainians. Koyo Matic is Bosnian, and they have a couple of foreign players on the bench in Christian Mocic and the other Ghanaian, Sadiq Kamal. It's the Iranian coach. Tajik football has only been independent since the 90s. They're making progress and trying to get success on this stage. Trying to get club success, international success as well. And we know, of course, that India has invested a lot in developing its football through the Super League. And that balance between importing very good players like Jason Cummings and developing, giving opportunities to their own coming through. Rychenko there, the Ukrainian, an experienced goalkeeper. must always, of course, be tempting for a coach to go for an experienced player, especially a goalkeeper, who can make such a difference. So here we go, AFC Champions League 2. It's Mohun Bagan against Ravshan Kulon. And we're underway. The home side are cheered into action by the Kolkata crowd. We'll find out who's strong between these two teams over the course of the next 90 minutes. And both have been playing three central defenders, but we'll work it out together exactly what they do from here. So Mohun Bagan, if you have just joined us, are in the green and maroon shirts. They concede the first free kick. Deepak Tangri, the guilty man. Just a little nudge in the back of Haitov. Ravshan fire it long. Rakimov, the skipper, has a roving attacking brief. 50 caps for Tajikistan. Their most experienced international. Here's Tom Aldred, who played in the championship in years gone by. He's also, as well as an Englishman, he's got Australian citizenship as well, having played over there for a good period of time, as well as a number of clubs around Britain. Here's Dipendu Biswas, young defender who's come into the team this season. Ray goes down, looks to the referee, and here's the toot of the whistle. Free kick for Mohun Bagan. A barge by Haitov after the ball had long gone. Spanish coaches in much demand around the world. And Molina has no shortage of experience. Aldred wants it back in the team today. Here's Ashish Ray. It's fired through that right channel. It's got to be then kicked long by Lutchenko. Now to play by the Ukrainian goalkeeper for Ravshan. Aldred wants the ball again, the experienced man. Dipendu. Ball tried again, so firing that ball, this time through the left channel. Muradov. They do spring away down the left side. And then the overlapping run by Haitov. He is held up, but the referee says corner, first of the game for Ravshan, the visitors. Zera was very balanced, I thought, in his assessment of the being allowed to play all of the foreigners. Only allowed 5 in a Tajik Premier League game. So he's conscious, though, that it's about developing players, it's about also winning games. Responsibility of a coach to get both right, really. Here's Rakimov. Fired in, and it was a stooping attempt to head it by Sultanov. And we'll just go for the goal kick. Decent delivery and a little bit of pushing and shoving, but credit to Tapper, really stood strong enough. And Ashish Ray is the outlet ball again. Subasic turned, he thought he'd done enough, I think, to win the decision. Seems to be an orthodox left back, Subasic. Push. And it's physical moments, the game so far. Trying to get it through to Sultanov Ravshan, but it's Ray who emerges with the ball in that right back position. And Tangri. Subasic forced back again to Dependu Biswaz and Tom Aldred. It's not an energetic block, mid-block really from Ravshan, as opposed to a deliberate attempt to win the ball high up. Azizbek Sultanov just keeping them penned in, and it works because they then fire it long, give possession away. There is a chance to break, and Aldred doesn't quite have the pace that he might have had in the past in his championship days. So Ravshan are able to collect possession and go. One of the Ghanaians then, Movator, gave the ball away. Nicely worked by Ray. Aldred again, so Mohun Bagan having plenty of possession, but Ravshan don't seem too concerned about it just at the moment. And they do win it back. Chiosov stepped in. He's at the back alongside Nazarov. Nazarov with that ball wide, and Movator is just in front of them. And Afori, the left centre back. Movator again to Afori, and Afori to the left side of Muradov. That's well won back up, legally won back by Mabuto. Ravshan were the runners-up in last season's Tajikistan Higher League. This is their 5th crack at continental competition. A miscommunication there, no chance for Manveer Singh. Petratos, one of their Australians, the man giving the ball away. They've left Greg Stewart on the bench. Jamie McLaren, we don't know how fit he is. Okay, so the goalkeeper has got 4 caps for India. Majority of the Mohun Bagan players are Indian internationals. Look at that man, Ray. Manveer Singh. Movator did well there, he didn't just win the ball, did he? He played it purposefully out to Rahimov. And then Matic cuts it back into the penalty area. Very calmly defended, though, by Tapa. Perhaps too calmly, because he's put them under a little bit of pressure. Dependu then tries to get it away, and it was dribbled out to play by the Ravshan player. Done by Tapa, very experienced international player. Raise the outlet ball again, the right back for Mohun Bagan. made successful progress down that right wing, despite going that route many times. First 10 minutes. Rahimov. Managed to wriggle away from the first challenge. He's played himself into trouble really there, Mohammedan Rahimov. And eventually he has been dispossessed. Aldred to Ray. Tangri. Aldred just trying to commit one of those blocking players by dribbling the ball a little bit further. It's a question how brave you're prepared to be with that, because the long ball hasn't worked so far. They haven't really been able to move Ravshan around. Here's Mavutor, who's well again, and he's found the skipper Rahimov. He's looking forward to the Bosnian Matic, who then can't find Sultanov. Carelessly given away. Ravshan haven't been able to really pierce when they've won possession. They're a possession-based side themselves. A little similarity in the outlook between the two teams in the opening stages. They're working through to Muradov. Forward towards Koyo Matic. An opportunity for Jason Cummings to get on the ball. Haven't really seen much of the Aussie, former Nottingham Forest player. He left Central Coast Mariners before they won the predecessor competition to this. Bendu. It's cautious. Work the ball across rather than going for the riskier, more adventurous big switch across. They do go down the middle, but so far, every time they've gone long, it's been defended by a Ravshan player. And Cummings nips back in, wins it again. They're able to supply Ray, who's seen as much of the ball as anybody. Manveer is held up, and he tells the assistant referee that Afori has done something dirty there. Looked like a strong challenge from the Ghanaian. Aldred. Ray. Little shrug of the shoulders from Sahal. Defenders seem to have a leap of imagination of what his teammate was going to do. Energetic press is worth the effort. Won back well by Manveer, but then given away carelessly. Mavuto goes back to Pachenko. A mirror image, what Mohun Bagan have done too many times. Slow build-up and followed by a forced pass forward. Tangri. They were 2-0 up at half-time. Their first ISL game of the season, an own goal. They won by the now injured Alberto Rodriguez. The final equaliser from Mumbai City came in the 90th minute of the game. It was a blow. The leader was very calm about it, discussing it before the game here. Subhashish Bush fires it long. Sahal was the attempted target. The front players, both sides really haven't seen much of the ball so far. Sahal was born in the United Arab Emirates, but he is an Indian international. Born to Indian parents. Movator is much travelled and in plenty of different countries in his career. He's 32 now. Gives you the impression, doesn't he, that he knows his way around. That's his pass there to his countryman Afori, and wide to Muradov. A little bit of a tangle there, Haitov wrapping his boot back really and catching Manveer Singh. Well shepherded out of play by Manveer. Here's a chance for Mohun Bagan to chase and then get a touch through Petratos. Let's hit his chances to try and curl that one in. Subhashish Bush to Sahal. Cross is deflected and then hooked away to safety. In 19 minutes, that was the best attack they've really had, Mohun Bagan. Petratos was the Indian Super League player of the season last year. Baguto goes wide right again. Rakhimov worked from the right side. It's an overhit pass there by David Mavuto. It's 31, Petratos. Second half of his career has gone very well. 12 and 15 goals in his last 2 seasons. Also played in Saudi Arabia and Malaysia. Ball over the top for Manveer to chase, but Afori really strong there, quick as well. And then calmly back to the goalkeeper. Nazarov goes wide right, and Matic thought it was a target. It was the over-enthusiastic challenge. It's a yellow card for Subasic Bush, the skipper. Did rather take off, didn't he? Markovic is, I think, asking for more. Did take off, didn't he? That is 2 feet up in the air by Dependu, wasn't it? So, did he get the yellow card? So it's Dependu's booking. Markovic wasn't exactly a picture of innocence himself. He went sliding in after a touch that wasn't great, but Dependu, I think, is a little lucky there. Hamajon Rahimov can take it, and a typically modern, very high defensive line here from Mohun Bagan. High and narrow. Rahimov fires it in, away by Subasic. Perhaps a chance to break for Sahal, but he was beaten to it by the defender. It's Cummings, just hasn't been able to influence the game so far. Before he defended superbly again. Mavuto to Markovic. Worked this well, but a good sliding challenge by Manvia, held up Haitov. It was Muradov, came inside, worked himself the angle to slip that through the channel. Well watched though by the wide attacking player Manvia. So Rahimov, the captain for Ravshan, but a very even game so far. Good won the first header. They clear their lines. Opportunity to put it back in dangerously instead, and perhaps a break on, but that's well watched. And then carelessly passed. And there could be the gap here, and there is no flag against Cummings. Slightly delayed reaction as he hits the ground after the challenge by Andriy Markovic. For his own half, that's why there was no flag, and a delayed reaction if there was any contact, which is why there was no whistle. There is now. Azizbek Sultanov down. Was a clumsy challenge by Dependu. There's no way he could have won that one. Got around Sultanov. So there was secondary contact, as it were, on Jason Cummings, but the ball was long gone, and you are allowed to make contact in a follow-through, as long as it's not reckless or dangerous. Big men in in the wall. It's a shot at goal. It wasn't a million miles away. Good effort by Omar Nazarov. Whipped round into the near post. Just outside of the near post, of course. Through a little gap in the wall. Tajikistan international, Omar Nazarov. Cates is the goalkeeper for Mohun Bagan. Neither of the goalkeepers has really made a save, so to speak, in the first 26 minutes. He could just let that one run. No chance for Petratos to get on the end of it. Ball over the top now. This is a well-timed run this time, and then the shot is saved and then recovered at the second time of asking. It was Rahimov who came across. An excellent work by Matic to find him. It's the best link-up in any attacking area that we've seen so far. He got the ball, he turned, and Rahimov had come well in off that right side. Good power in it. Credit to Kate for the save as well. Quite what he was going for, the goalkeeper. I think he was trying to scoop it away, but ended up getting down on top of it, blocking it. The ball over the top, flag down, goalkeeper's favourite though. Muradov lost out to Tepa. Well, that's a careless pass, and the action was good though. Well, Lafori was the guilty man there. Here's Manbir. Uses his strength well. But Haitov got back in and something on it. 40. Given away again. Contact after the ball had gone, and the referee has his notebook out again for Ashish Ray. So that's another lucky man. Ashish Ray. Petulant, and I don't know if he's annoyed with himself or annoyed with the decision. Opportunity for the players to get a drink here. It has been 30 degrees Celsius. Cooling break required. Especially for some of those Eastern Europeans who might not be used to it. It's a fair old journey from Tajikistan, the south of Tajikistan. 2,500 kilometers. They flew down to arrive yesterday morning, then trained on the pitch and did the media interviews, press conferences really. Had just about gone out to play, Markovic. A tumble to the ground and a scream from Rakhimov. His teammates aren't giving it much thought though. Haitov goes on. Skipper will have to get up, especially now because Petrasos has the ball and he turns and quickly fires it to Cummings. He has not been able to make any kind of influence on this game at all. Jason Cummings, former Rangers man, dual international, 19 goals last season. Some reasons for Ravshan to fear him, but on the basis of what they've seen so far, Jose Molina, I don't think we'll be worried, but we'll be... Well, he looks pensive, doesn't he? Nothing to think about. Muradov. It's ambitious from Haitov. Haitov floats one over the top. It's an offside flag that brings the attack to an end. So against Azizbek Sultanov. Elevated flag to show it's the far side from the assistant referee. Tapa to Ray. Manvia's the target and Euphoria comes across again. Aggressive defending was good, shielded him well, but Manvia has made a run and I just wondered whether he'd gone too early. It was inventive. We'll be looking at is the left leg of Markovic. Had just got a bit planted and was half a step deeper than his defensive colleagues, which can be make or break sometimes when you're trying to play offside. Mavuto. The thumping tackle. Bit of an aggressive reaction as well from Deepak Tangri. Free. It's remaining calm. He got the ball, and then there's a spleeling leg that went following and caught Muradov. I just see his shin pad where he's cut his socks. Petratos complaining to the referee quite passionately, vehemently. suggest it's been a frustrating 35 minutes for Mohun Bagan. Best team in India last season. They've also been playing the Durand Cup, and they've done okay in that. But Molina, I think, was really between the lines. I think he'd rather have a more normal pre-season before the ISL and the AFC Champions League Two. Petratos goes chasing. Best of clearances by Radchenko, but it went to a teammate one way or another. Free kick for the foul on David Mavator. Suggesting he had his toe trodden on. In fact, there we are, by Tapper. And a touch around the corner. It was left by the skipper because he suspected he was offside. I think he was right as well, Rahimov. Sliced clearance as well from Nazarov. Will be out for a throw to Mohun Bagan. Tangri couldn't find a teammate. Goes in strongly. Ravshan done well. They've emerged again through Muradov, and then fizzes his pass into Haitov's feet, and his young teammate couldn't control it. Well, there. Oh, it deflects, I think, doesn't it, off Ray? I was doing him a disservice. Working forward to Cummings, then to Petratos, to the Australians. Terrific acrobatic clearance. Unfortunately, it didn't matter because the offside flag was already raised, presumably against Jason Cummings. And Petratos there, isn't it? He was offside. A strange clearance as well. It's got up in the air by Manveer. It comes back calmly for Kate. Tells his skipper he wants to use it quickly, and there's no further forward pass for Subhasish Bush. Tangri. Tom Aldred. 5 years he was with Brisbane Roar. He was signed by a championship side in Watford very early in his career and didn't make the grade there. Reading an interview with him before the game, and he seemed to have regrets about making that move, having been a first-team player in the lower divisions in England. Difficult decisions, because obviously the temptation is always to chase the bigger club, isn't it? The higher league, but you're weighing that against getting playing time in order to develop your career. He's had a fascinating career. He has travelled far and wide, now playing in this competition. Here is Tom Aldrin. Tapa. Cummings comes deep. I suspect we might see some kind of tactical switch coming from Molina during the half-time interval if his side doesn't create anything in the next 5 minutes. They have created, let's say, almost nothing. Depending. Can't blame the coach there for it was a poor touch. Manvia. Petratos around the corner, but it will be collected by Ofori. And then, I was about to say, one back by Manvir Singh, but the referee thought there was too much contact. It's a bit of, not just the shove, was there a bit of contact on the back of the leg as well? Well, there are options, of course. Greg Stewart amongst them. He's got other good players on the bench as well, as has Nazar Zeda, the Iranian coach of Ravshan. I suspect away from home in his first game, he might not be too keen to take massive gambles. Yosov, who was penalised. Tapa doing a bit of self-refereeing there, grabbing the ball. Dimitri Petratos, the Australian striker, on deadpool duty. Fired. It wasn't though. It was a good delivery actually. It's half an opportunity for Subhasish Bush to perhaps, I might suggest, to get it down. Very difficult to score from this position, backing away. I only assume that Ofori had stayed in and played him onside. And that's just a little careless from Muradov. Haitov couldn't get hold of it. Tapa. Flick on by Cummings to Petratos. Got to find a way of getting those expensive attacking players more involved in the game. Rahimov. Markovic. Distribution has been not great from Rychenko. Has restricted Ravshan. Got to expect a goalkeeper now to have good distribution with his feet, have a good passing range. It's nicely worked, and Manvir has kept it in play and rushed the cross a little bit. He was too far ahead of his teammates. Just to whip it in first time. Haitov clears. Just adding 1 minute on at the end. Nicely bending run by Mandia. Dependu to Aldrin. Ray. And Manvia again. Before he comes across, Cummings. And there'll be some individual magic. Bush goes back to Tapa. And then the miscontrol. Tapa can get it again. Last seconds of the first half, referee has a look at his watch and decides that nothing more can happen for Mohun Bagan there. Well, that has been close, it's been tactical, and I suspect there might be a little bit more tactics required from the two coaches. They've not been able to get their attacking stars involved in the game. Either side really close and cagey first half in Kolkata half-time. It is Mohun Bagan 0, Ravshan Kulob 0. So welcome back. 0-0, half-time between Mohun Bagan and Ravshan Kulob. The visitors are ready, and they are ready with a double substitution as well. Christian Motic, who's a left wing back, Serbian, is coming on, as is said Maximov. The home players are welcomed out. Their coach preceded them, Jose Molina. There wasn't much between the teams in the first half. That is, I think, fair to say. Neither side really able to get their creative players deeply involved in the game. And it is the visitors who are making the change. So Sultanov is off, one of their attacking players. It's hard to be too critical, really, given that, you know, as an attacking player, you sort of need a bit of service along the way. And it will be the visitors who will get us underway in the second half. So we hope for a bit more in the second period. Ravshan, the first team to blink, as it were, and make substitutions. As I said, obviously not content with what he saw in the first half. Couple of changes. Mohun Bagan, the side that finished top of the Indian Super League last season, are in the maroon and green. The visitors are Ravshan Kulob in the red and white. That's Motic, who was one of their half-time arrivals, and that's Maximov. And it's Muradov off. So Muradov for Motic that's the change. That's left side for left side, and Sultanov for Maximov. So it's not a massive tactical switch unless it is, and we're missing something, but they start on the attack. That was Maximov. In fact, the two subs immediately involved. I guess it was that particular lack of supply down that side that Nazazeda was unhappiest about. And they're on the attack, and that's a long-range shot, and that's a shot in anger, and a proper save to make. Rahimov, who has switched roles, hasn't he? Because he was wide on the right for the first part of the first half, the captain. Experienced Tajik international. Tapper to Ray. He just played as a right back. It's a straightforward back four from Mohun Bagan, as far as I'm aware. Is Tangri lost possession. And Maximov down that inside left channel. And a painful one for David Mavuto, the much-travelled Ghanaian midfield player. He's played his club football in Poland and Kazakhstan, Indonesia, Malaysia, and then to Tajikistan, and he's a Tajik citizen. He's 32. Not, as far as I can remember, a Ghanaian international, so possible international call. Not many internationals in this Ravshan side. Their national team is a bit more spread around. The drummer's out for the second half. Supporters trying to get the players going. Always works best if players and supporters basically try and give each other the G up. Jose Molina is the coach of Mohun Bagan. A hugely experienced player and a double winner in Spain, La Liga and the Copa del Rey in his Atletico Madrid days, a Spanish international. Senior role in the Spanish Federation as well for 4 years. And coaching experience in Asian football before, a couple of times before. But new to this role. They drew 2-2 in their first ISL game of the season, having been 2-0 up against Mumbai City at half-time in that one. Ravshan much further into their season, they're 5th in the league, chasing, realistically, 2nd. The winners of this competition will go into the preliminary stages of the Elite Champions League for next season. There are 32 teams in the group phase, so fairly straightforward. Maths from there, 2 will qualify. Ravshan are on the attack, and it's a deflected shot this time by Rahimov. Half an apology. Looks a bit frustrated. It makes more sense, I think, to have shifted him inside. And his shot struck against his own player. It wasn't going in. It wasn't going to beat the goalkeeper. Tom Aldrin. Dependu Biswas. Dependu was a little bit lucky. He got a yellow card in the first half. There was a case that there could have been a bit more. It could have been feasibly red. I'm sure the referee considered it. Here's Matic. And Rahimov. He floats that ball out to Mocic, the half-time substitute left back, and then fizzed forward by Mavator. It's an ambitious pass, difficult one to get that one right for Rahimov's run. Ravshan have been livelier in the second half, though. Subasic Bosch has been part of a back 3 at times, but he's orthodox left back today. No foul. Tapper retrieves it for Aldrin. And then Tangri wide to Dimitri Petratos. Ball back by Sahal, but defended well, actually, by Nazarov. And Ravshan with a free kick. He's roamed around that front line, Petratos. Hasn't really managed to have a big say, despite his various endeavours. Mocic, it's given away. There's Tangri. Clipped through the middle by Dependu, but comfortably cut out, and then forward by Nazarov. Matic trying to operate as the pivot centre forward. Sprung forward, goalkeeper always favourite to that one. Lutsenko, his handling has been good whenever called upon. Ray given away, and a little dip of the shoulder by Maximov. Can he make the most of this situation? It's cut back. And again, and a chance for the skipper to score. Terrific defending, Rahimov denied. He said he wanted the ball arriving more quickly, I think. Well, nothing doing up front for Cummings. It was a really careless pass that sparked off that previous attack. Then he went diving in as well, Ashish Ray. I think it was the moment earlier that I think Rakhimov is saying it should have arrived from Haitov initially, rather than beating the defender and then cutting it back. I think the point is from Rakhimov. I'm not sure it stands, really. It was just good defending. Here's Tapa. Dependu. Tapa trying to change the angle, get Cummings involved in the game. Now they work it left, and Subasic comes charging forward. Subasic Bush. Whipped in and then flapped away by the goalkeeper, and Subasic Bush gets it down and sees his shot blocked by Markovic. There'll be a yellow card here because there was a counter-attack that was stopped there by Tapa. So he joins Dependu and Ray in the referee's notebook. Ravshan free kick. And Tapa's touchdown. That's an aimless ball by the captain. Forward by Nazarov, taken down by Matic, but is dispossessed. And then also rather cynically, I think the home supporters are shouting at the referee here that we saw a yellow card for a cynical bit of play a minute ago. And Koya Matic definitely stopped the counter-attack. Counter-attacks have been quite slow, though, the moments of transition. So essentially the moment when the ball turns over possession one team to the other. How quickly at that point do you start attacking effectively? Miscontrol doesn't help, of course. Coaches can make all the plans they want, and if the players put their passes wrong and miscontrol, then no plan in the world can get you around that. Markovic working hard. So what you're left with is looking for a little bit of magic from somewhere. Mocic. A 40. The sub, Maximov. Right to Haitov. That's the definition of optimistic. 21-year-old attacking midfield player. It's under a decent amount of pressure and is a long way out. Had to have really wrapped his boot around that perfectly to even worry the goalkeeper. Here's Sahal. A little dip inside. Good defending, no foul. Strong challenge though in the midfield by Tangri. Muvator though was really strong, wasn't he? Used his experience. Was caught late. I think that's why the referee has blown his whistle here. Carelessly given away. Can Mohun Bagan make the best use of it? No, they can't. Mixture of too slow and too fast with their attacks. It was careless play by Christian Mocic that led to that counter-attack. Petratos trying to find his fellow Australian. Now gone, 0-0. All given away again. Cummings is onside here. The movement was good. Now Tapa. Tratos is between his own central defender and right back. And number 9 for Mohun Bagan. Dependu. The two teams in the group play later. So we'll have a better idea come the end of the evening how good a result this will prove to be for either, how good these two teams are. Tapper forward. They will be onside here because he's run from deep. Manveer. Careless there. Mocic up for the first time, appealing for offside because the player in his eye line was offside, but then the run came from a much deeper position. Dimitrios Petratos. Useful flick on at the near post. It wasn't the greatest of corners. Manveer tried to make something of it. A little bit of inventiveness from the wide attacking player. And the first changes are coming here. Liston Colasso. There's one of them. And Apuya is the other. Tapper is off. And Sahal as well. Tempted to say it could have been anybody. Certainly in those attacking areas. How much of a tactical switch is it from Molina? So two Indian international players coming on. Strength and depth for Mohun Bagan. And they're on the attack again, but final ball has let them down on just about every occasion. haven't had a notable chance. Here's Mocic. To a 40 who's defended well. Nazarov, the middle of the three central defenders. Mavator to the right side of the centre back trio to Yosov. And Rahimov over to the right-hand side, stopped by Tangri. Matic, the centre-forward, the big Bosnian centre-forward. Friend of Luka Jovic. Prolific striker at times in his career in European football. Forward pass from Liston Calasso. The run got an ooh. And the forward pass was given away. Mavator scoops his ball out to Mocic. Or 40. Nazarov. Misses out one pass, as it were, and goes to Markovic.
Please, brother, the camera behind. Camera. Please come in.
Another change coming here as we dispute which way the throw-in goes. And it's Andriy Markovic who goes off, a relatively recent arrival. The Ukrainian came from Andorran football in the summer. And Asher Mamadov is his replacement. Salam, the 21-year-old Salam Asher Mamadov. That's 3 changes made by Mami Nazazera, the Iranian coach of Ravshan Kulop. The ball through the middle, won by Tependu. The young defender got it well. Then Liston into the midfield. And Bush to Apuya, the other sub who's just on for Mohun Bagan. Now Aldred. And Ray. And he lifts it forward. Looking for Manvir's run, but Afori has been solid in everything he's done. Well, at times lamenting some of the attacking play. Should give credit to the defenders. Shamamadov down that right side, initially down the right side. I'm not sure that's his brief. Gyosov might have actually, I'll have a look at this, there might be a formation change, might have switched to a back 4. Ravshan. It looks more like a regular back 4 at the moment, doesn't it? Here's Manvir. And it's cross into the middle. Goalkeeper decided to stay. The attack can keep on going. Therefore, Liston held up. Almost presented with the ball back again. But they are out. Mavator through to Maximov. And his pass just dribbled along. Fairly chunky surface. And a foul by Christian Mocic on Dimitri Petratos. It's clumsy. three-man war. I suspect they're not thinking about a shot from this range, the two Australians. Petratos. Maybe he is. It's almost the penalty area again. He is going for goal. It lands in the athletics area behind the goal. Luchenko, I'm going to say, was not worried. Luchenko was a former Shakhtar Donetsk youth team player, and then, in common with a lot of these players, has had a globe-trotting, a journeyed football career, mainly in Ukraine in his case. The blow of the whistle. Discontent from the home players. Tom Aldred. And a Ravshan free kick. Is this the key to unlocking this game? A flick on by Mocic. An aimless one, though. Comfortably caught by Kate, but his throw out was disappointing. And Ravshan on the attack again. Ashur Mamadov, beg your pardon. Dispossessed. Good defending. Long ball forward then is fired over the top, and that's good work by Luchenko, acting as the sweeper keeper. Mavuto. Diosov. Ashur Mamadov. It's a little flick outside for the skipper Rahimov. Ashur Mamadov has carried on his run. He's onside, only one in the middle. And he dribbles it straight to the goalkeeper. No chance for Matic. It was isolated anyway. Nodded out to play by Diosov. Liston's throw. Nice little turn by Petratos. Defender turned his back. Still not quite time to pull the trigger. But that's a nice ball to try to open it up. Puya for his fellow Serb Liston, whose control wasn't perfect, which allowed Diosov to come back and make the challenge. Another set-piece opportunity here for Dimitrios Petratos. 3 corners apiece. Referee disputing that the ball is in the corner zone. And Petratos whips it into the near post. Defenders on top again. Is Cummings. Is this offside? Yes, it is. Assistant referee just taking his time, making sure that Petratos was going to play the ball. Petratos is shouting at his teammate, not at the assistant referee. They wanted it earlier. To be fair, that's Petratos' fault and not Cummings. Didn't make enough effort to get back on side. It's Tangri who is down. Greg Stewart, potential replacement. Still warm. Change is imminent, it would seem here. The experienced Scotland or Scottish, beg pardon, midfield player back in Indian football. He was playing for Kilmarnock last season. He's been with Rangers and Aberdeen. Tangri looks fine actually, but Molina wants the changes anyway. Hishik is the other player coming on, another midfield player looking for some extra creativity. Molina on a chance, a mistake, and they're away. It's Cummings with an opportunity. He's being closed down, and the finish, I'm afraid to say, was lamentable. Credit to Samuel Afori for the speed at which he got back, but the mistake by his teammate let Cummings in, and he decided he was going to try and lift it over Lutsenko, but he got as much ground as he got ball, and it was easy for the Ukrainian goalkeeper. And foul by Haitov. It was a late one. So the changes come, and it's Petratos who goes off. That's for Mohun Bagan. Changes as well. Matic is the 9. Zaripov going off. Sorry, coming on. So Tangri does indeed go, who had that injury. Yes, it is you. So a little more information. So Petratos is still there. It was the other 9 who went off in Matic. Zaripov comes on, 30-year-old forward. And the ball over the top that Petratos will chase. That's aimless. Winston Colasso doesn't hold back. The armband doesn't protect Subasic Bosch from a tongue lashing from his teammates. It's just a look of disappointment from the coach. Well, the coaches have rolled the dice, looking for some magic. Zaripov chasing around up front. Matic was very isolated. There's no discernible link-up play between him and teammates. Here's Greg Stewart. Cummings deeper. And it goes wide to Liston. Two players battling with each other to clear it as two Mohun Bagan players were lurking in the space behind them. Liston wants to get on with it, but need an injury pause. Cummings had the best chance of the game. It's a bad mistake by Nazarov that allowed him through. It's on his left side. Everything is there. But the finish, as I said at the time, he was put under pressure by the recovering defender, but the mistake allowed him the time to choose his finish. Chose wrong, executed wrong. This is Mocic, one of the subs down. It's been a struggle physically for some of the players. You'll expect little sympathy from the home supporters. That's the same in football around the globe. And his captain says he can't carry on. We'll see what the medics say. He's struggling, Christian Mocic. That's tightening up, then you can see why they've taken him off. In fact, yeah, back to Vari is on. So the subbed. Always seen as a slight if it's done for tactical reasons, but also disappointing, of course, if having come on at half-time, you don't make it to the end of the game. Here's Cummings, drifted over to the right side. He's a left footer. He clips that one towards the edge of the penalty area, away by Mavutor. Haitov on the break is clipped. By Abhishek, one of the latest of the subs. Sadiq Isha is on. There was a yellow card there, by the way, for Abhishek, quite rightly. He was cynical. Just hacked out of play by Subhasish Bush. Maximov has switched over to the right wing now. Both coaches have looked for positional solutions. Goalkeeper takes a bad touch. This is an opportunity. It bounces around again, and once again the recovery powers of Afori were crucial. Radchenko has not had a good game with the ball at his feet. The touch wasn't good, and the second with his left boot was a horrible slice. And it was Sadiq actually who came back, the sub just on, with a really good challenge. Now the ball cut into the penalty area, ricochet. And it's got back of Movator, a good block by Aldred, and then a really powerful hit by Sadiq Isha. Listen. Again, the attempt was to get Cummings through. This time the block was just about effective. No offside from the throw-in, of course. So Petratos wouldn't have been flagged there. The ball didn't come to him, no. And Dependu back to Kate. And Abhishek turns. Forward it goes, and Stewart slips it through. An opportunity here, a chance to win the game, and it goes horribly wide from Liston Colasso. Samena looked across, looking for a flag, but he was allowed to go on. He run from slightly deeper position. He does. Defender in the middle playing him on. They've had two good chances. It was the better of them, or the execution was a bit better, but still wide. Didn't get the required whip on the shot at goal. And Movator puts it forward and hucked away. They're creating more now, and Cummings made the run. He wanted it early and he was onside. And now again they come down that side. Cummings lets it run, gets it on his left side. His shot is deflected and in, and then the flag goes up, and they are denied in the 88th minute. Petratos is furious, argues with the assistant referee. I think that's just an emotional reaction. I think he was off. The crucial thing here is that even though the contact is from a defender, I think he was offside now. Still offside, miles offside. Now there is contact from a defender, but it's an attempted block, and so it doesn't reset. It's not a new phase of play because the defender's got hold of it and passed it. It's just an attempted block that goes the way of the offside player. Flag correctly raised. We have seen the ball in the back of the net though. No VAR needed. On that occasion, the assistant referee, spot on. Yeah, there is no VAR anyway. But they don't need it. There we are. Example why they trust the officials. Another player struggling, it's the skipper, Subhasish Bush. Dragged back to his feet and told to play the remaining minute or so. He is going off. Amandeep. The youngster will come on to replace the captain. Well, guilty with everybody else, really. Subasic, Bosch for poor decisions, poor execution of passes in creative situations. Zaripov, the sub, centre forward, has been as isolated as his predecessor, Matic. They go through the middle again, and another mistake, and Petratos is away, can win it at the end here. And it comes back off him and goes behind. Rodchenko did enough. It's another mistake by the same player that let coming through on goal. Now he's arguing there that the challenge by Nazarov, look at the challenge here by Nazarov. Did that do enough just to knock him off his stride? Credit to Rodchenko for making a save. Most important bit of goalkeeping in the game. Came in added time at the end of it. Nazarov, if he'd caught him, if the foul had been given, he would have had to have gone off. The referee, I'm guessing, saying that Petratos didn't go down. He was still on his feet when he got his shot away. We're adding 4 minutes on. The game has sprung to life. And Liston goes through. He gets a free kick. We're going to have a free kick close to the edge of the penalty area. And we will be deep into added time by the time they are ready to take it. Clumsy challenge. Why did it take until about the 88th minute before Mohun Bagan found some urgency? Petratos over a set piece again. Now they need some quality. It has not been a good performance, but the game is here to be grabbed now. Stewart and Petratos are there. Well defended by the first defender. Set pieces for both sides have been poor. The long ball downfield. Zaripov makes something of it. He will go alone. He does have some support. Zaripov tries to win it. Credit to everybody for getting back. It's maroon and green shirts. We're back in number. Cautious from Nazarov. We'll see whether at the end of the group, I guess, we'll get a clue later with the game in this group later, but we'll find out whether this was just overcautious tonight from Nazarov. Seemingly happy, I think, to bank a point away from home in their first game. He's a frustrated figure, isn't he? The Australian striker. Free kick goes the way of the home side. Might not be time to take it, though. want to do anything with it. They do take it quickly. There's that urgency, and another mistake, and another opportunity. And it's cut back for Petratos, and it might just come for Cummings again. Now Stewart, and Cummings has found space. They're putting this Ravshan defence under pressure at last. Greg Stewart takes over. We're over the time being added on. It's clipped into the penalty area. It's clipped behind everybody. Petratos slowing down the defender sensibly, slowing down too. Petratos turns, gets his shot away. There was a deflection on it, but there's no time. And we finish all square at 0-0 in this first game for these two teams in Group A of the AFC Champions League 2. Exhausting and bruising and cagey and tight. It sprung to life in the last 5-6 minutes or so. I suppose the last 15, Cummings, big chance, but he ran through and fluffed his lines, and then Liston with a shot wide from a good position, and Pachenko made a good save in added time at the end of the game from Petratos after another bad mistake by Nazarov, who was relieved at the poor finishing by the Australian strikers up front for Mohun Bagan. At the end of the game, Nazazera comes away having banked a point for the Tajik side. Ravshan Kulob away from home in their first game. I guess they're relatively satisfied with that. Likewise, Mohun Bagan, it's not a disastrous start. They've got a point. Everybody's got a point. It wasn't a great game. Mohun Bagan showed us their quality, their urgency towards the end. Full time, though, in Kolkata is Mohun Bagan 0, Ravshan Kulob 0.